Good morning, all. I know I'm a little bit late. I said I'd be on here at 10. It is what it is. Um, let's see. Good morning. I already said that. It is October 28th. It is Friday. We are just around the corner from Halloween. I'm not a holiday person at all. But I love Halloween. And I know it might sound creepy, but one of the reasons I like Halloween is I like handing out candy to kids. And I know that sounds so bad, but uh, but I do. I I'm that house with the full size candy bars. Um, that house that I always, as kids, we always wanted to go to and be. So I became that house. And after my mom died, because I started handing out wine to the parents. Um, that was, I don't know if I'll be able to do it this year because I have bigger plans this year trying to promote the school. But like with, uh, and the reason I handed out wine was because my couple years, specifically one I can remember, was we're out trick or treating. My mom usually had people over at the house, and we kind of all go out as a group. And there was one year she she had a glass of wine and she walked out of the house with this glass of wine, and of course she finished it. And at some point in the trick or treating, kids go up to the door, and a parent was like, "Oh, hey, I see you're out. Do you need a refill?" And she was like, "Sure." And so somebody gave her, refilled her wine glass. And so I therefore started handing out wine um, to the adults. Now, I don't know. Um, I'm not sure if I can do that this year because I'm doing stuff in the name of the school, and I don't know how many times I've told that story. I've told that story quite a bit. People get a kick out of it, um, but um, but yeah. So I'd still like to do the wine thing, but I don't know. Maybe I could be that really. They'll be like, "Oh, he's the wine guy." Because even last year, somebody was like, "Is this the wine house?" And I thought that was pretty funny. So, so you have parents looking forward to coming. So, some announcements. Um, I will just start off right with my first announcement for this beautiful little thing. Happy Friday, Rob. Yes, to you too as well. So this is the newest version. You can see that it doesn't have that notch that the other one came in. I actually have something filled out on the back. So this is looking a little bit closer. Um, I made this really, really tiny, and I got rid of all the other stuff because that fluctuates. But so I'll have to redo that. Um, and of course, I made a couple other changes too. So it's actually it's not going to be it's not that bad. Like some of these, like some of my notes, like the arrow. So this page needs to be moved over so the margin in between is not as bad. But and of course there's other pages like that, but all of the QR codes are in here so far. And I rewrote my introduction. So my introduction is actually a little bit longer. In fact, when I got this, I was like, oh my gosh, there are very few pages that are just blank. And it's like, do I add more pages? and kind of spread stuff out, make it a little bit thicker, therefore making it a little bit more expensive for me. But I was like, I don't know. But the changes I've made, because I've actually gotten stuff back from Klein, from Mark Klein. So I have his pinpoint method information in here as well. I've done some rewriting, cleaning stuff up. So this is becoming amazing. Bill, man, how's it going? This is so amazing that I'm at, what was the last count? I'm at 44 pre-orders for this book. 44. Which is blowing my mind. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're alive. Yeah, like 44. Like, oh my gosh. So let me tell you. Now, I got yes, I guess I could blame it on you, that it is all your fault. So this book, I've gotten orders from the States. Okay. I think I mentioned I have orders going to Norway. I have books going to Norway, books going to Denmark. I got an order for 2 going to the Czech Republic, and I have 2 going to Australia. So, like, dude, and pre-sale isn't even over yet. In fact, the changes I've made, I just want to make sure that this is good. So I'll be ordering so another reason, Ashley and I did a bunch of videoing last night. So I'm actually going to have videos for the book, just like I did for the DVDs. So I have episodes that are for online and DVD when I was putting out DVDs. And now that I have a book, it will be book or online. So, so this is, which is essentially what we did. We did a couple gallbladder points last night, and then we finish out, large intestine. So I have all the points for large intestine filmed. Some of them are in upcoming regular episodes, and then some are in will be accessible from the book only, or if you have an online membership. So either one. So I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah, like, whoever thought me, like an international author, world famous. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's absolutely crazy. The response. Now, there are still some people who are like, oh, I'm going to buy that. I need to buy that. And they haven't done it yet, which that's okay. So even with wanting to order another copy, just to make sure that all of my stuff looks good, I will say this pre-orders will go until November 17th. Maximum. It could end earlier. If it ends earlier, I will let people know. But yeah, November 17th is when the pre-orders will end. And then I will basically put in the order for all the books on the 18th. And so that is, in a way, that's kind of symbolic, because November 18th is Dan Anderson's birthday. And yes, it is Rob's fault that I sat down and completed this, but it's really Danny's fault that I'm a book writer, that I publish books. So, and, as easy as I found it to be, this made this more of a reality. So, yeah, this is, I'm super, super excited. I was telling Danny the other day, I was like, yeah, I should, like, I'm hoping for 100 pre-orders. And he goes, that's like almost impossible. So, but I'm like, but is it nearly impossible? I don't know. I don't think it is. I think that it is possible, but dude, I'm at 44. Like, I'm almost halfway there. It only takes a couple schools to order in bulk of 10 at 10 per thing. I'm just a character in a book. Oh, that's right, you are. I can't remember who wrote that. Was that Sean, or was that, I can't remember who wrote that, but I remember you were a character in a book. Oh. That tastes really good. But yeah, so I don't remember ever meeting Ed. Run a quick run Facebook ad, and you would definitely be at 100 mark. Well, now that because I actually have a definitive date that's earlier than previous, I will probably do that. But check this out. I'm gonna okay. So I put this on the website so I filmed this yesterday. Took several takes. But I got together with my son. I bought a gimbal years ago, and so we actually got out the gimbal. And but I edited this yesterday, and I will let me share this with you guys. Oh, there we go. All right. Greetings. Welcome to another episode of Q-Show Corner. Isn't that wicked? Like, I freaking love it. I love it. Yeah, so I posted that yesterday. I put it on YouTube, but I have not made it public. It's an unlisted, so I could put it on the website primarily, or put it on the book site. But I'll use that. I'll post that probably everywhere, including maybe a link with a video picture. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty cool. So showing all the different things with the book, and then especially the QR code thing. We'll see how that pops up. But but it's what is it? I don't know. I'm just super excited. I just think that's just freaking cool. So yeah, but that was kind of something that I had in my head that I wanted to do a while ago. And as I was editing this, the Lisa was just like, well, doesn't it? And look at who's okay. Hold on a second. Hi.
What the hell do you mean the worst experience ever? What happened?
Say hi to the world.
Oh, hi. Okay. What you should have said is that I'm doing my podcast. I can't talk right now.
Oh, Rob says hi.
Tell everybody I said hello.
Yeah. So you're on speaker, so you can say hi.
Of course I'm on speaker. Hello, everybody.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you later.
Well, when I have a chance, I'll call you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Jim, how you doing, sir? Yeah. No. I went to the dentist this morning, and I have an awesome dentist. And for the most part, her dental hygienists are not too bad, but I dealt with one that I have never dealt with before. And because my appointment was supposed to be on Monday, but I got a call and we're like, hey, we have an opening for, Friday if you want. And I was like, sure, I'll just, early in the day, just get it over with. Anyway, yeah, not the greatest experience. The dentist is fine. Lisa's awesome. Lisa, and dentist name is Lisa too. But this hygienist was just, she's poking at all my gums, and I know they're doing whatever little tests, but like, I have never had somebody poke so deep and so hard. And she goes, "Oh, you're bleeding." And I was like, "Well, you're trying to fucking puncture the root of my tooth." And yeah, it was just it. And then she was a little bit passive aggressive because she's like, she's saying, now, do you brush twice a day and floss, once a day? And I'm like, no. I was like, I brush at least once a day. And I floss when I can. I am a flosser. Okay. And then, and she's like, well, that you're supposed to, and I'm like, I'm 50 years old. I know what I'm supposed to fucking do. Like it was, and then when the dentist actually comes in, she's like, well, he doesn't floss, he doesn't brush. He brushes at least once a day, even though he says he knows he's supposed to brush twice a day. And he doesn't floss every day, but he does try and floss a couple times a week. He's going to try and work on that. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't know. I should probably put a notice on here that this video is not for kids, unless of course they want to hear me swear. But yeah, I like one of the, I was just wanting to get out of there. And I like my dentist. So I didn't want to be rude, but it was one of those where I was just like, I just wanted to be that asshole and just call this woman out. And I just didn't have it in me this morning. Bradley's tuning in. He didn't say anything, but that's okay. Good morning, Bradley. How's the machining going? But yeah, so yeah, so it's been great. Oh, and Andor has been awesome. The last episode of the last, let's see, the last episode of Lower Decks was actually pretty good. I enjoyed that. Yeah. So yeah, it was. I heard that I heard somewhere that the new Quantum Leap is looking to be canceled. Maybe it's because it's not good. Like, it's not bad. It's interesting. I kind of want to see where it goes just because of how they have stuff set up. But they are missing some core elements of Quantum Leap. And that's like, I don't know. They've just totally gotten rid of different things. So he's very cool. Yeah. Okay. So Bradley is David Hogan's kid, and he is a machinist. I was once a machinist. So I met Bradley, briefly last October when I went out. And then we, what is it? But we sat at dinner in Indiana. And so I really got to know him, and he's a great kid. But it was really cool because he was a machinist, or he is a machinist. I was a machinist. So we got to talk about that. And then both martial artists. So great kid. Let's see. Yeah, it sucks, but still watching it. That's kind of, I'm kind of, when it comes to that, yeah, it's just like, my one thing is that with Quantum Leap is like, they don't know who he is. Oh, it took us a while to find you. Okay, well, yeah, sometimes it takes a while to find him because the leap sometimes doesn't happen instantaneously. But then you have, and that was established in the original show, but generally they know who he is because he's he's leapt into this person, and that person ends up leaping into a waiting room. Where's the waiting room? They have not made any mention of it. They're confused of where he is and who he is. And yeah, so yes, now he's leaping outside of his what do you call it? What is it? He's leaping outside of his range, or his lifetime. That's what it is. He's leaping outside of his lifetime, but it's one of those where I know that because they established that when they said, okay, well, he's the cat. Hey, don't do anything dumb. That's my cat. That's Dojo. When he got rid of all the safety protocols. So, and originally in the original show, the only reason that he was leaping within his own lifetime was because that's all that Sam had programmed Ziggy with, was the information from his timeline. So the episode, the season finale and season premiere, where he and Al swapped, that was they had to actually do research. They had to go look for more information going back to Al's birth. So if they have taken the time and put in all of this history into Ziggy, then they could travel almost anywhere in time. So I get that part, but I don't know. And I know that, there's two different stories. I don't know. Yeah. I don't find it woke at all. I have heard that that's one of the reasons that people don't like it. I don't know if it's just me, you know. I don't find it a woke show at all. Yeah, they got some weird guy on there, but you know, IT people are weird. I don't care, you know, what gender they are, what gender they think they are. All IT people are weird. So that I totally get it. I do. Hold on a second. Get out. Okay. I do really like how they connected Ernie Hudson's character Magic with the Navy SEAL that that Sam jumped into originally, and when he saved his brother. So I thought that was a really cool connection. And I like how that kind of continues the storyline and makes a little sense. And you kind of get a perspective of, you know, even if Magic was in the waiting room, he doesn't remember being in the waiting room. So anyway, okay, so let's go back to some more comments. So back to Bradley. Yes. See, yes, there is. And no problem. I talk up good people. Sorry, that's just stuff falling behind me. The cat was getting into stuff. And I'm assuming that this comment from Jim is about Brad, is that we love him and we will call him George, which is a call out to what book? Or not what book, but what cartoon? So, okay. Let's see. Did I mention I have 44 pre-orders for this damn thing? I'm sorry. It blows me away. It really blows me away. Okay. So changes, so different things that I'm doing in the school. So I do have one new student. I have a new modular student. I call him an old modular student. Okay, so old school Looney Tunes. So if you didn't understand the reference, talk to somebody much older than you. But let's see. I cannot remember the character's name, but it's old Looney Tunes. And it's this abominable, and he picks up, I think, Bugs Bunny, and he goes, we will love him and we will care for him and we will name him George. And yeah, it's so cool. So yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so that's that. I'm reading stuff as it's coming in. Okay. So did you miss when I initially announced how many I've pre-sold? Okay, so I'm at 44 all over the world. Oh, you were there for that. Actually, he called me an international author. The red monster, because I see your email had popped up. Yeah, it was the big red monster, but I don't remember. I don't remember his name. I want to say something around it's Peter, but yeah. Yes. I hope this will be a classic. Oh, Jim, since you're watching, I'm going to replay this. We will go back here. I made a video that I will repost. Gotta love that upbeat music.
Welcome to another episode of Q Corner.
Yeah, I just love it. I'm so stoked. I think I'm going to spend the rest of my day editing all the video. So, but I will put that up so people can share it. I'll put it up on the Q Corner site, and then I'll put it up with the with everything else. Yeah. So that was just kind of an idea. I don't know if you'd had a chance to look at it in Indiana. The copy that I brought out to Indiana only had the QR codes from Lung, because I just wanted to put it together really quick, just to kind of see how it would work, what people thought about the idea. Of course, I reached out to a couple friends, and they were just like, "That's brilliant. Go ahead with it." And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. Come to find out, this is nuts. So Dan Anderson, you guys have probably heard this. I'm going to tell this story over and over again, because I know Dan has told a bunch of people, but Dan comes to the school. I show him the book. I show him the QR code, and he's blown away. Like, he's just like, he's ecstatic. And not necessarily at the material. Like, he's not a Q show guy. He's an old school karate guy. He's more of a stick guy now, but the QR code, because he's a publisher, and so, and like, he just thought that was brilliant, of blending a book with technology. And so now I have him on this kick of, he's redoing one of his books, adding the QR codes, and then he's actually making a quick guide that has a brief description with a QR code. So the original book has a deeper description, but linked to the video, and then he has this other one with a link, with a briefer description. So it's just like a quick guide. So yeah, it's he's just incredible. So yeah, it's putting machine learning to use. Absolutely. And then thank you, sir. I'm so looking forward to it. So you did get a brief look. Yeah, thank you. It is very innovative. I don't think of myself that way. Other people said, "Oh, you're so innovative." And I'm just like, I don't think of it that way. But when I look at it, it's like, I don't know of anybody who's done this before. So I'd love to take credit and start the movement. But I will tell you this, all my future books will have a QR code next to the technique. So you can go on and watch the video as well as see it in the book. So just to blend the two. And I honestly, I hope that it becomes more of a thing. I think that would just be just way, way cool. So if that could be something. So yeah. So there we go. It's why I believe martial arts and machining are synonymous. There we go. Always growing, making stuff different. Yeah. So let's see. What else have I got today? Let's see. I really can't think of, I don't know. My brain's so stoked over the book and wanting to get that done that I just can't think of anything else. But the school's going well. We are, like I said, I gained a new old student. It's a gentleman who used to do modular with me years and years ago in the garage, and then stopped for whatever reason. I can't remember. And then I've always kept him on my email list. And then he just kind of reached out and he's like, hey, I'd like to know more about it. And so I was like, let's, I'd like to get back into it. So he's doing it once a week. Unfortunately, I did lose a student, but that's because he moved, not because I suck as an instructor. So he will be moving south. Parents are going to evaluate a virtual option, but hey, just so, because we had talked about that, setting it, doing it by Zoom. So oh, I love you, Bill. Maybe he moved because you suck as his instructor. Yeah. So, so that is kind of funny, but we'll see if we get him back. They did talk about coming up at least once a month to get back in the dojo. So we'll see how that goes through. Every time you put a book up, I share it. I think it's one of, if not the best works out there. I appreciate that. And I will say that every time people share this, my sales do go up, because my reach only goes out so far. And with other people sharing that like tells the algorithm to make it more prevalent to people, because people are sharing it and liking it. I will be posting, just because the timeline is I'm tightening up the timeline. I'll be actually able to order these books on the 18th of November. So if not sooner, but that is the day I'll do it no matter what. I'll put out the video. I'll put out another post specifically saying 18th. 18th is the magic number instead of December 1st, because that was actually the original date was December 1st, but I'm going to pull it back a couple weeks. So yeah, absolutely. But all right. So I appreciate everybody who's sharing it, because I have noticed every time it's shared by somebody, I see sales. Let's see. I see karate gaining more traction lately across all social media. People seem to want to learn again. And I'm sorry. I don't trust my cat. I love him to death, but I walked in here. So I know I'm kind of bouncing around. I don't have a door on the office, but I have this mat that goes up about halfway, but my cat can jump over that, or he just pushes the mat over. And I came in this morning, and right in the center of the room, he had barfed, and I was like, are you kidding me? So I had to clean that up, and all. It's just a mess. So, but when he comes in here, I know that he's trying to be lovey, but he also likes to pee in the corners in here too. And after I don't know, I don't trust him. All right. Good morning, Sensei. Sorry I haven't gotten a chance to email you yet. Hope you're doing well. You seem to be in good spirits. Yes, I am doing well. I am still waiting for that email, but that's okay. You will email when you're ready. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Not the greatest dentist appointment this morning, but it is what it is. I have other things that excite me. Yeah. So let's see. Talked with Bram and had a wonderful conversation with him and hope to attend the Massachusetts seminar in November. Will you be able to attend? Unfortunately, I will not. If not, I'll try and connect with you in some other way. So for those of you who don't know, Bram is going to be in, so he and Evan Pentazzi are going to be teaching at a Q-show / crimp seminar. So they'll be doing, so he'll be teaching the seminar that I don't know, some type of pressure point law enforcement control thing that Evan thought up. Anyway, so they're doing that and crimp. And if you don't have a crimp, or if you don't know what one is, let me pick one up so I can show you. This is one of the best Q-show tools out there that Q-show people are not using. It's like a knife, okay, but it is not a knife. It has chipped edges, so it's not going to cut me, but I can grab. It's really a law enforcement tool, but check this out. The Bramp here, put that into pressure points, tap, rub, press, enhances everything. One of my latest projects that I'm working on after this book, I do have a project I'm working on with Master Korn, but my next martial arts related book is going to be what is it? Is going to be Naihanchi with a crimp. And so I've come up with some really cool applications. And so I'm kind of excited with that, actually being able to put it in book form. But as I'm kind of like that ADD kid. I do a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here. But then there's those times where I really come into focus. My focus is to get this finished, so then I can focus on another project. Even though I'm still always focusing on the school, I want to get those other projects out there. Oh, let's see. Kate, yeah, I've heard it's a good program. I've never actually seen it. And I kind of want to go to the seminar. So actually, let me do a really quick, let's see. Oh, you're very much like that too. A little bit of bouncing. Yeah. Let's see let me see if I can find this really quick. Nope. So it's the seminar is actually being hosted. Well, it's being hosted somewhere in Boston, in Massachusetts, somewhere outside of Boston. I think it's called Elite Martial Arts, but Tom Gallo is the one that is organizing it. Tom is thing Crimp 1, kind of like thing 1 and thing 2. So you Tom and Ed are Crimp 1 and Crimp 2. So they train together, and they are actually much better at Crimp than I am. I will say that They are pretty good. And that's kind of been their focus. My focus has always kind of been modular with a blade. I really enjoy the crimp. I don't use it as much as I should. But yeah, they're really good. So in fact, at the camp or at this seminar, I think it's a 2-day seminar, November 12th and 13th. What is it? Trying to think. There'll be there's going to be I saw. Okay, so the KTCP, was it Kyusho Tactical Combat Program? Is that what that stands for? Anyway, so Evan will be teaching that part. Bram will be teaching not modular, but crimp, and then Tom and Ed will actually be doing a user certification course. So law enforcement and security, generally companies and insurance companies like to see that you've had some type of training in the tool. So I formalized Bram's user training course last year, and Ed and Tom have just they run with it. They run it just like it is. So it's a great course. I'm trying to find let's see, because I know I want to say I'm trying to find a graphic that I can share here with the information. Okay, here it is. Now we're going to share screen, and then we're going to go to a window, and then we're going to go here, share. And there we go. Okay, so this is the flyer. You go to tacticsmartialarts.com, or you can email Tom at tomgallotactics@gmail.com. It's going to be in Mansfield, Massachusetts at Excel Martial Arts. So looks like it's going to be basically $200 for both days, $225 at the door. If you're only going to want to go to one day, it's going to cost $125. So some great Kyusho, some great crimp. If you guys are gonna go there, that is. I would love to be there, but money's kind of tight right now. So Kyusho Tactical Control Program. I taught it also when I was at Kyusho International. Evan did a great job with it. Yeah, so there you go. Good program, some great training. If you can make it, go. No worries, sir. Love you. I'll tell Lisa you said hello. That's my buddy Bill. He's in Ohio. He and I used to bounce together. He was my lieutenant when I ran a security company in Washington. God, that was so many years ago. Anyway, so he and I have known each other for a super, super long time. One of my good friends. In fact, there are times where he's wanted to drive down from where he is down to Indiana when I've been there, but I think he said it's like maybe a 4 or 5 hour drive from where he is. So I don't know. Eventually he'll come down to say hi, or I might end up making it up there. So one of the two. I have this crazy thought in my brain of wanting just to drive cross country and then just kind of hit all these different places. Now that would incur me putting like, I don't know, 7,000 or 8,000 miles on my car, because of course I'm going to be driving down to Florida to see Bram, and then up to see Rob, and then up to see Davey, and then up to see Mark in New Jersey, and then of course I'll definitely stop at Jim's, and I don't know. I got a bunch of friends all over the United States, so it's just one of those where it's like I just kind of want to go and like, you know, hang out, but I don't know how long that would take me. And I don't have anybody to run the school for me while I'm gone yet. So that's probably a couple years off from me doing that. But it's one of those where, I will eventually do that. So, cause I think it would be super fun. And in fact, now that I am a international author, I don't know, maybe I could set up seminars and I could have the seminars pay for the trip. That might be a good idea. What do you think about the captain statue in Bloomington that I sent you? Yes. So I saw that picture the other day before you sent it to me. I think that's way cool. I did get your last message. I didn't respond to it. I'm sorry. I should have the search. I'll have the search done today. But aside of that, yes, I would love to drive up there and see it. If it's only just, you know, if it's only like an hour away, I think that would be cool. So the picture that Jim sent me was, I can't even remember her name right now. Kate Mulgrew, who played Captain Janeway, standing next to this little monument of because her character, Captain Janeway, was born in Bloomington, Indiana. So, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. They had like a little monument. It's like, you know, future home birth, you know, whenever Janeway was supposed to have been born. And so it's cool. You have the actress standing next to that. So, so I was like, ooh, if it's close, if it's not too far of a drive, next time in Indiana, I would love to do like a quick day trip up there just so I can have a picture of me standing next to this thing. So, I just thought it was really cool. The other, of course, if I ever do a cross country trip, I'm definitely going to make a stop in Riverview, Iowa, because that's where the future birth or the future birth of Captain Kirk is. So, and I know that they have some type of display too. So of course I'm, you know, got to stop there. And then, but yeah, so yeah, there's all of that. Yeah, so things are going well. On Halloween, I think I talked about this. We're gonna set up a tent. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to hand out wine yet, but I'm gonna set up a tent, hand out candy bars, but I'm also going to hand out hot chocolate and tea and apple cider, because many moons ago, when I moved into the neighborhood, there was a church group that did that. They had a tent at the park, and they would hand out coffee and hot chocolate, you know, because it's cold. But it's one of those things where it's like, I was like, oh, what a great idea. And then all of a sudden they stopped. And I was like, ooh, I want to do that. And I never, like, there was like, it would just kind of come and I was like, I don't know if I should. And so this year, school owner promoting the school community, you know, involvement, I was like, I'm going to do that this year. You know what? It's supposed to freaking rain all day. So hopefully I'll get the tents up. Instead of doing one tent, I'm going to do a second tent so people can stand underneath the tent and maybe get a little bit warm. So I do have 2 tents with walls. So I think I might just put the 2 together and then do that. So, but yeah, that's kind of how that is. Good morning, man. Have you heard anything? If they plan on making a Picard sequel like Picard in his early days. No, I have not heard anything about that. I think when it is done with Picard, I think they're just gonna end it because they have the 3 episodes. However, I think they should go back, even though like Deanna, Maria Sirtis, and Jonathan Frakes they're not super old, but I mean they're not young. Having them on the Titan, doing a USS Titan show with the Rikers, I think that would be an amazing show. All right, thank you for tuning in, sir. I will talk to you later. That would be an amazing show if we could do something like that, or if they could do something like that. But I know I haven't heard anything about a young Picard. I know there's rumors, I guess, kind of, that we get to meet Picard's son. So I don't know if this is if he is a crusher or not. But I mean, that's kind of where the fandom theory is going. And in a way, they could probably use that same actor as playing a younger Picard, but I don't know. I don't know if I would really want to see that. I mean, I'm kind of done with prequels. Really, I want to see the continuing. Now, of course, prequels. I absolutely love Strange New Worlds. Probably some of the best Star Trek I have watched in a while. But when we take a character that we've seen for 7 years, 4 movies, and then another 3 seasons of his own show, I think you're pushing it if you're going to try and milk that to death. At some point, even though this franchise has lasted 56 years, at some point you gotta be like, okay, if we want it to last, we just don't do that. However, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing other shows, like even a Geordie show. I'd be good for. I don't know. Now I still have to watch. What is it called? I have to watch the new episode of Star Trek Prodigy. I've not seen that yet. I haven't seen the 11th episode yet. So we are actually still in season 1. So it's episode 11. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. We talked about Andor. Talked about a little bit Star Trek. Talked about my book freaking a lot. But back on Travis. I got to go back to Travis. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're being safe. Got to always be safe. So, and it's good to hear from you. I'm on here every Friday at 10. So just so you know. There was another thing I wanted to share. I can't remember what it was. See, that's kind of where my brain is going. See, this is telling me that I should probably log off. Now, last week I talked for almost an hour and a half or more. Yeah, no problem, sir. And when you have a chance, come up to the school. Like, I'd love to see you and show off the school. So, maybe we can like get together for tea or lunch or something like that when you have a chance. Where can you get the book? So book is on C. Thank you for this revisitation. Okay, so this book, Kyushu Information Guide, it is basically it's a pressure point guide for martial artists. It's pre-sale right now. You can get it on my website. I'll start putting in orders November 18th. If you do martial arts, which I don't know if you do martial arts, I can't remember, but this is really helpful for those people who are putting martial arts into their stuff. I'm going to, I made a video, like I made this really kind of like this sales video is kind of cool. But yeah, kind of excited about it. The book is being sold all over the world. Like I have books pre-ordered from Denmark, Norway, Czech Republic. Let's see. Starts with an A. Aussies, Australia, and all the way out in New Hampshire and New Jersey. So like all over the place. So I'm kind of excited. But this is like, I don't know, this is book. I think I've got like 4 books, but this is my most recent martial arts book. I would say the perfect companion books are my last 2. We've got a Kyushu guide and then how to break down kata. And so you put those 2 together, I think are, for me, of course, I'm biased because I'm the author and I just think they're the greatest things on earth, that they are the 2, they are the 2 greatest, like if as a martial artist, as a karate person doing kata, knowing how to break down the form and knowing the points that you're going to be hitting, those 2 are perfect. My neck pinch book. Yes, I have a Star Trek book out there. So if you, okay, so Travis, if you go to my website, and in fact, I'll just post in here since you're on, since you are on, what do you call it? YouTube. This will actually post to the YouTube. So artisanmartialarts.com, you go there, okay, and click on Pro Shop, and it'll have my 4 books. So I have one on, I have the neck pinch. That was actually my very first book, my first techniques book. And then I have, which I didn't, the first one that Rob posted was nerve pinch and then changed it to neck pinch, but I am working on a second version of that. I want to expand it a little bit better. It was my first book. And so I was like, oh, I could write a little bit better. I can lay out pages a little bit better. I have some ideas, and really it was only just the neck pinching, from Star Trek, but I actually want to throw in some actual techniques on how to get into a position to do a neck pinch. And then, so that's kind of on the back burner right now. I've got other projects I want to work on first, but that's one of those where I'm like, okay, it's time. So, I am in information collecting mode for that, and then I did a modular knife, basics of modular knife book. And then I've got my decoding kata book, and of course my Kyushu information guide. So those are my four primary books that I've got now. So I think that's it for today. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm good. I'm good. I finished with my tea almost. I have some video editing to do. So go buy my book. If you haven't pre-ordered, pre-order. You get a discount. There is a discount on the book. Yeah, I probably will never stop talking about this book, especially when I get people so excited about it. I think it's just amazing. So, okay. So thank you for tuning in. I will be back next Friday. Let's see. I will be back next Friday. Whatever day that is. It's the 4th. So I'll be back on the 4th. If you're local and you have not registered for Dan Anderson's seminar, it's going to be Dan Anderson, Kelly Warden, and Brian Zawolinsky. All three of them are 10th done in modern harness, and the three of them, it's going to be a great seminar. That's happening on the 5th of November. So I will probably do a last promo on that. So I share stuff for Danny like that all the time because he's really excited about this. It's probably the only time that they're ever going to do this seminar. So I've actually closed the school on the 5th so I can go to it. And then, so see you next week, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And all of you guys, be safe.